Hello again, it's Cookies. And for all the crap that I covered in that big national overview, I forgot a couple of things. So, one thing I forgot to cover more in depth was the heroes. So, you have, with worthy heroes, you have a few guys. You have these three. So, you have Turkle, who can do he can gateway, and he can also do amulets of the fish, and he can also break you into air on your communions, and he can forge quills. So this is a super important mage, worth taking luck scales for, and you should be very careful with him and keep him safe. So that's Turkle, and then you have Holber. He's really nice because he breaks you into fire and earth. So he can make earth boots, he can make fire boosters. I think if you give him enough boosters, he can also make a Staff of Elemental Mastery. And he can also get wired into a Communion, but like Turkle, I would keep this guy very safe and have him forging as well. So, because he can more easily break you into Earth. You can make Earth Boots and then get a Troll King, and then you're broken into Earth. And then all the different fire like lanterns he can make is really nice. So I really like this guy. Another really good hero. Really helps fill in a national need for relay. And then the last one is Tuzhas. This guy is tricky. He doesn't. It would actually be a buff to him if he came later in the game. And the reason why is because he has, maybe you can see it here. Oh gosh. He actually has a horror mark chance of 15%. Gosh, I thought it was less than that. Maybe. Oh yeah, it still shows it. Okay. So yeah, he has a horror mark chance of 15%. And I haven't tested it, but I feel like if you were broken into death enough, or if you had enough death gems, you could empower him in death, twice born him, teleport him somewhere to get him killed, and then you have a white mage, and maybe he won't get a horror mark and die. Because this guy is super important. He's your access to bloodstones, so he's your only access to bloodstones. He gives you some access to blood in general, so you can make blood boosters and start slowly breaking into blood enough to do like items. He has, he has some of your other national paths like Water, Astral, and Death, but uh, if he's Death 2 and Blood 2 because you empowered him, and then he's size 3, so if you kill him off, he becomes a white mage rather than whatever the undead version is of an aboleth. And so he ends up with full slots. And so he can potentially break you into vampires and then break you into big blood all on his own. So between bloodstones and if this guy hasn't shown up yet, he can break you into earth and potentially being able to break you into vampires. This guy is super important, and it's absolutely worth testing because I haven't. If he still gets the horror mark chance, if he's a white mage, if you're able to pull that off fast enough. And there's a reasonable chance he shows up so early that you can't do the things you need to do to save him in time, and then he gets killed by horrors, which is what happened to me. So, but I was able to get him, get some bloodstones out of him. So, definitely try to get some use out of him. And yeah, so all three of these heroes are super important. They break you into a lot of stuff. and it's why I recommend luck 2 or luck 3. It's one of the reasons why. And then the other reason is getting gold and gems in the early game so you can build a lot of forts and do trades to get more pearls and break into paths. So I view luck as super important on the nation, and this is one of the reasons why. Your other hero is Elude, and this guy's just like part of the basic thing. Necrodie. That's the undead version, which is actually pretty cool because so this guy's size 6, and that's a size 6 Necrodie, but they are amphibious, the undead version. So if you twice spawn your Mind Lords or your Avidai and you get them killed, then you don't have to pay upkeep for them because you already paid a lot of upkeep with the death gems. And then you have a amphibious high path mage, which is pretty nice. But Elude is Astral 4, which is really nice. So you can get up to Astral 6 pretty easily with a couple of rings. And that's good enough to do a lot of high astral stuff, but not all of it. So yeah, just a really good mage, really good Mind Lord, also Water 4. So if you throw him into a really important battle, and you've maybe you've empowered him in death. I'm not sure if he's worth it, but I mean it's something you could consider. He has soul enslaving, which is kind of cool. Huh. Anyways, sorry. Hard MR negate. Ah, okay. Anyways. So I don't know. This is a hero that I would actually consider using in combat as a big communion mage. And he can just do all the big spells, like even better than some of your Mind Lords. So yeah, that's the heroes. And then the other thing I forgot to cover was some of your summon options with Wish that might be good. There's so many things you can do with Wish, but I wanted to go over a few of the summon options. So so one of the options is you can do a lot of Mind Hunt spam. So one of the heroes that you could wish for is one of these heroic Telkings, specifically for the healer trait. I mean, the Telkings are amazing regardless. Look at all these paths you get. But getting the healer too would enable you to really pump out the Mind Hunt spam, because even if your mages get feeble-minded, you could still recover them. So you're not just chewing through slave mages, you're reusing the same pool of them, which can be really inconvenient because it allows you to use the astral penetration booster. So this is a strong wish candidate in my opinion. Also breaks you into high air, which can be really nice. It can help you get the elemental royalty for air. Another option is I'm not going to go into all the stupid stuff you can do with this hero and the innate spellcaster 3. But if you want to know about that, you can go watch Lucid's campaigns. But this is also a really good just wish candidate. Breaks you into fire and air and high death because it's death 4. So you can break into a lot of paths and a lot of cross paths. It's just a really good unit to break into. Notably, this one is, even though it's undead, it might not be amphibious. So you might need to be careful about how you summon this one. Alright. And then another option is go ahead and dip into the MA relay Yeah, get yourself a Cthulhu, the Stargazer. This guy has full slots, I'm pretty sure. And he's Astral 5. So this is a tremendous candidate. You can give him a bevy of astral boosters like the hat. You can give him a Robe of the Magi, a crystal coin, and like a ring of sorcery. And you have a second wish caster. So that's why you would get this guy. And I think that's it. I've gone on plenty long enough. But yeah, good luck and hope you have a good one. Bye.